or loses, you can always expect him to make the crazy plays, be dropping the 30 bombs, be in everyone's faces, because Simple is just ridiculous. That is the facts that we have been working with. And this Na'Vi team, Davey, coming into the start of the event, it was a little bit shaky versus Quasar, right? As soon as they got into their second game, though, they had woken up. They were like, all right, leave that in the past, back to the normal Na'Vi we expect to see. But nothing can be expected here, because one of these two teams will make it to the major off the back of this best of three. If you want to go to Antwerp, you have to take your victories, and it all starts on Mirage.
It does, and the smoke comes out towards window. We see the P250 dropped over to Simple as Boomich, scaling up short, wants to go aggressive. Smoke towards top connector from Bit. Him and Boomich are going to be working up short. This is the B split, and they're going to be relying a lot on these short players to find this opening pick. The player tucked close away under the window. It's actually Refresh to start it off as Tezes gets one back. Simple jumping out of the window, tries to trade it, but Heroic is hitting all their shots. Bit eventually answers back. Him and Electronic now, they're inside of the site. It's the 2 versus 2 on site. One player flanking, that's Cadian from middle, but it's not going to matter. Stown starts it off on Navi's pick with the opening pistol.
Look at him, he's dropping a jig, he's dropping a little boogie. Ooh, all right. Heroic, you take the pistol. Tessus with some clean kills. Now, Tessus yesterday, got to give props to him, right? He looked sick for the side of Heroic. The amount of frags he was hitting consistently was huge, but Stown, he had a great day as well.
And he knows right there, look at the tracking from him onto Bit as he's jumping around the corner. Follows him all the way up with his crosshair. As Na'Vi, they haven't fully invested into this one. They have brought out the Deagles. Remember, they didn't get that bomb plant, so Perfecto and Simple going to be low on money in this next round if they don't find anything, and that is Refresh finding the head of Simple towards top middle. That Deagle ringing out but not finding the kills, and it is Stown again through the smoke, finds Electronic at top mid. And the M4s, the crossfire from Connector and Short, finding all the frags thus far. No armor on the T side, of course, so this should just be the cleanup here for Heroic.
Dream scenario is to make it through the round as cleanly as possible. But it's always a possibility that the Deagles deal damage. And Boomich, he bounds into action with the first. Perfecto's going to be overwhelmed. And Shush and Cadian, they do clean up at the end there. So just the one casualty, only one rebuy on Refresh.
And they did recover the M4 as well. So Na'Vi, what do they like to do with this one? They are just going to go for the Galils. You see Perfecto, he's bought it up. Simple has the AK. It looks like he's had nades dropped to him as well. I don't think he would have been able to afford it otherwise. So maybe Electronics nades going over towards Simple. He throws a lot of utility for this Na'Vi team. Not only is he finds the openings, he throws the utility, he wins the clutches. The man literally does it all. Ops, rifles, you name it. As Electronic, he's lurked all the way out. Ooh, does make the footstep. Not going to actually matter in the end. Cadian does have this op towards jungle, and look at this. Bits walked out, finds the head as Cadian gets dropped. Third round op not working, and Bits still going. He finds another one. That's down, and Heroic, they're forced out of this round.
Bit more like Big, because his impact is huge, but the problem is, Shush, he's in the back line behind Boomich. He finds that frag and leaves them in the 3-on-4. They want to try and get away with the weapons they have, but Simple, he's in a prime position to strike, cleaves his way through two of them, and cuts it down to just Refresh on the save.
And I'm not sure if he's aware of it, but that is an op dropped inside of the underpass. If they go try to find it, I mean, they might get a free op out of this too, and with the money that they had coming into this round, that's a massive pickup for them. Simple finding both, and again, it was Bit just walking out of that A site, him and Electronic, getting that perfect timing. Looking like a counter strat from the side of Na'Vi, right? It looked like they had an idea. They were like, look, Heroic on their opening gun rounds, they tend to just give up A completely and hoping that they can play the retake. So if we just walk out, we don't even throw any nades. Just walk out, find that timing, get that opening. That's exactly what they do. Cadian gets caught rotating in. And there it is. There's the opening kill from Bit. Swings out, finds the second on the player and stares. And at this point in the round, Heroic, they're just running to save.
Yeah, they just wanted to get out of there. But of course, Simple, he holds down middle, muddles them up. You get the free AWP because of it, so that's now been donned by the big man. And he's waiting for a face to come towards him, clearing the close angle inside of ramp in case there's any aggression from Heroic. Tessus is just down to the 5-7. The cash not supporting the full buy. And very limited utility as well.
Ooh, and the Molotov Forcing refresh forward, doesn't find the timing. Electronic swings, lands the headshot. This is the A execute coming in. They have the lurk in middle from Bit as well. Stown is aware of the possibility. He's holding for the smoke. Is he going to find the timing? Bit does. Lands the headshot. Shush answers back, but it's still the 4 versus 3. Make that 4 versus 2.
Shush. He leaps up on top of the site for Simple. Be in for a good delight with the AWP as he gets the flick back. And Testis now, 5-7, vastly outnumbered. Simple does him in, and Na'Vi take the game 2-2.
Remember, this was Navi's map pick as well. They did choose to play Mirage. They lost the opening pistol, but so far, smiles all around. When that man's smiling, when that man's vibing, it's a problem for anybody else on the other team.
It can get worrying, to put it nicely. If Simple's fired up, if he's having a great time, just expect all the frags to be going his way. And already he's having impact.
And this is just going to be the 5-man rush. I mean, Electronic is hearing all of this. He's going to be communicating this, and you can see the response. Navi's already run into that B site. The bomb is in T-spawn, though. Electronic's only able to find 2, so Navi's going to have to group up and actually, fight these USPs. The Molotov's going to do enough to push them all back. Boomich and Perfecto get 1 apiece. And you can see Shush, he just wants to try to go get that dropped AK. But Perfecto's not going to let that happen. They pick up the ecos. Only 1 player dropping. So Na'Vi building up the economy here on the T side as they take the lead back from Heroic. 3-2 now, but of course that was the full save. That's why they just did the 5-man rush towards ramp. Full eco. Should see the buy coming out now. As the in-game leader there, Cadian, just discussing with his troops what they want to do, how they want to respond to what Navi's been throwing at them.
We are into it. Heroic, again, not really armed to the teeth. The cash hasn't been in a great position for them, but they switch up the pace. They go for the boost up, and this means that Refresh finds an opening frag for free onto Bit.
And Simple's here with the op, and he hasn't spotted the player there. Jiggle peeking, that was Tezez. Like you said, Refresh finding that opening towards upper B. But these are the types of rounds where Na'Vi becomes so annoying to play against. They're down a man, but they still manage to just somehow just show so much pressure across the map by almost not even doing anything. It becomes very frustrating. You're not really sure where they're going to end up going. And because of that, you see Heroic, they're responding, they're reacting, they're pushing into the A halls. Simple's rotating over. Cadian's pushed up here with the 5-7, but Simple, he's already scoped in. He's already worried about this, and he should find this kill onto Cadian as he walks around the corner, and that's just so frustrating. That's the type of stuff that makes Na'Vi so difficult to play against.
No audio cue, no nothing. Had that scoped, ready to rumble. Here's the pick onto Cadian, so any map control you thought you were getting is now gone.
And that was bomb spotted over in the A-halls. The op and the bomb spotted in A-halls, gets the kill onto Cadian aggressing, and now immediately falls back over to B. They're going to throw nades, and then there's one player at A who's going to walk out here. That's Electronic. So it's going to seem like a B fake where they go back A, and then they actually are sending the bomb over to B.
Depends what happens towards ramp, though, because Electronic, they do shut him down. A power surge from Refresh. But here comes the true play. The execute out onto the B site. Awkward fight for Testis. He can't quite win out on that one as Boomich gets the job done. Bomb will be planted as well. And Perfecto, he's ready for the close quarters engagement, but Stown hits the flick shot off with the M4. Simple comes back in, scoping out aggressively. Good adjustment onto Shush as well. And Refresh, he's in for a world of hurt now. 1 versus 2. Slowly peeking back up. Perfecto's going to swing onto him. Hits it. And Na'Vi take 4 off the back of that. Boomich fired up.
And those are the things, like I was saying, Na'Vi is so difficult to play against. They go down 4 versus 5, but they're not scared to take one-on-ones. They're not scared to take the fights. Simple, just he's something about him. He always understands what's going on in the game. He always knows where the danger is. He's always able to find it. He pushes forward. He finds Cadian going aggressive inside of the A halls. Gets that pick, runs the bomb all the way over to B. They throw the B fake. Electronic walks out A, and then they end up going B anyways. And it was Boomich who actually found the opening into the B site from short. They split you from so many different areas. And they're so frustrating to play against. Even when they're down numbers, they never feel out of the round, especially when Simple's alive.
Differences here. There's Deagles on display for Heroic, but the one AWP brought out for Cadian as well. Couldn't wield it into the prior round. They didn't have the funds to support it. He needs to have some impact with a weapon in a round like this. Na'Vi again taking the aggressive control towards middle. Cadian's going to be boosted up, but look who's primed and ready. Gigantic tag. Rips his HP down to 15.
Cadian with a crucial miss. Again, though, this is what we're talking about. Simple just always is aware of where the danger is. Now, they are going to be going up short with the Electronic. He finds the opening. The smoke towards top connector. There's 2 players on either side. But Na'Vi, they're walking back through underpass. The Molotov towards short is going to just try to bait these connector players into making a play. It's exactly what happens. They flash through. Perfecto spots them, but he backs off. They now know there was 3 towards the A site. This should be the move back over towards B, but instead, they know Heroic's going to react towards B, and so they're going back over towards A as Bit finds the kill onto Shush going aggressive ramp.
All the CTs repositioning. Cadian finally comes out to play with the AWP. It's down towards middle. If he does actually find this frag with the Deagle, maybe there's an opportunity for them. He's going to grab the rifle, drop out of the window and go peeking into connector. Simple's watching window. Bait shot coming round the corner. Bomb being planted as well. Safe plant behind Triple. He's got the smoke wall up and Simple has the choke point covered. So much damage done on Perfecto, and Refresh does actually eliminate him.
And they know Simple was pushed up towards the top of connector. They know he was in the jungle area. You can see all the things they're doing to try to clear him out. They both jump into the window. Cadian's holding for it. Simple with the no-scope. Doesn't land it. He's tucked away in the corner, but Stown in the back finds him. It is just Bit. The bomb is planted for mid, and Bit is tucked away on top of Tetris. No kit for the CTs. Bit, he's biding his time. They don't have the kit. All he needs to do is find the 1 kill on the player defusing. He gets it, and he gets another. 1 more for his trouble. Cadian has to run. He has the op, 15 HP, and Bit clutches it out.
Massive round from Bit. Does go down in the end there. Can't save the AWP, but it won't matter. He saved the round, and that's the real hot commodity that you need. Played it to perfection. No kit there on the side of Heroic. They knew they had to try and force him to face. They tapped the bomb at first. They let time tick away. When he does peek, just cuts his way straight through them. Beautiful stuff. Na'Vi leading on the T side.
And you could see, like, in those moments, right, the calls coming out, like, hey, they were on eco. Probably no kit, right? In a 1v3, you take the gamble. If you know they're on a low buy, you gamble they probably don't have a kit. He does. He doesn't bite on that first defuse. He knows he's 1v3. If he peeks too early, they'll have time to close in on him. They'll have time to find him. He waits, he waits, he waits. Peeks once he knows there's no chance for them to defuse if he gets the kill. Not only does he get the one defusing, finds the man covering him as well, and Cadian has to run away with the op. But he does run away with the op. So, because they have that extra money, we can see now immediately the response, double op for the CT side.
And that's down with the second scope. He's 7 for 5 at the minute. And sometimes he just comes alive for Heroic. This would be the sort of round with a crutch AWP that you would want him to pop off on as well.
Absolutely. In fact, you need him to. Navi's up 5-2 now on their T side. Their map pick, and they are dangerous on CT. Simple has shown what he's capable of on this map. And again, they find the perfect timing. Electronic just walks out. The second op of Stown finding no impact. Bit actually going to molly him out from under balcony, and he finds it as well. Perfecto with the headshot. And this is the A site taken. And Boomich isn't done. He goes forward. Tezes shuts down that aggressive play from the in-game leader. But even still, Heroic, they're out, man. They got nothing.
Nothing you can do. You've got to save. Otherwise, you're just throwing the weapons into the wind at that point. And that strong wind of Na'Vi is turned into an absolute hurricane, Davey. They just swarm the site. They run in. They're winning all of the fights. They're so amped up with confidence. Boomich, he did not stop. Wanted to be a cannonball in the round. And Na'Vi, they're going to find themselves with 6-2 being the score on the T side of Mirage. Their home turf here, working wonders for them.
And Heroic, just getting timing. They had that triangular defense, right? They had the op in CT, the player under balcony, the player towards stairs. But they all ended up losing the 1v1s. Na'Vi found every single perfect timing on them. Electronic walking out of halls the exact second that Stown is throwing that utility towards middle. He drops. Player in jungle swings out, trades it. But then Perfecto's there to get that kill while Bit's mollying the guy under balc. It was perfect. They never got the chance to use their crossfires at all.
Very vocal side of Na'Vi. We have the one pause as well where Blade chipped in. But at the minute, things seem to be going their way. Here at least, with the AWP still being in the hands of Cadian, maybe he can find some impact. Aggression out towards mids, down with the early flash. Sure, she's going to reposition into ladder room straight away.
Yeah, and this mid utility from Na'Vi has pulled so much utility out of the hands of Heroic. You take a look, Cadian's got nothing left. Shush has almost nothing left, just the HE. And all it was a couple nades thrown towards middle, and they've just bled out the CTs. All that extra utility they had. And with 1:20 left in the round, if you're Na'Vi at that point, you're like, all right, guys, nice. We've got 2 full nade sets gone. We have a very loose mid control. Obviously, the CTs are here fighting for it. Simple's holding for the peak over top of Connector as Refresh wants to go aggressive. Simple's making noise running away. Oh, and that might bait Refresh. It does, and Boomich is here. He wants to let him walk forward, try to see if he can get him to flank. Shush boosts it up, gets the trade onto Boomich. It is the 1-for-1 as Bit making noise here in the underpass. The player's right above him. Perfecto throwing some nades over towards B, but pressure being applied across the map, and the bomb is inside of A halls. The rotations come in. Cadian's gone.
He's backed off. Although he's realised he's turned on a dime, he's gone back towards the site, but Electronic, he's already down on the ground, peeking into Stown. He holds and will be able to stay alive. Peeks on top of the stairs and Simple will hit the shot. Cadian wins out on the close range engagement.
Oh,
and it's all falling to bits, but he's able to keep himself in it to win it, Davey. 23 HP. We've got 20 seconds on the clock, and they go leaping into window.
And where are they going? Perfecto. You guys have to go get the bomb. 15 seconds left. Simple smoke isn't going to be up for much longer. You can see Tezes, he's rotating to short, and if they don't get into the site in time, oh, this is falling apart. He doesn't have it. He's going to have to leave.
You got to give it up. There's nothing that can be done. Bit just has to stay alive. That's the round going the way of Heroic. So close as well. Almost felt like Cadian was going to take him down at the end.
And again, Na'Vi almost found that perfect timing. They got out into the A site. The second Cadian left, they get out, but Simple not able to get out of the apartments. And Electronic just barely losing out on that fight towards stairs as well. The instant dink from the CT is what dropped him.
They go back to the double AWP as well. It's Cadian's down. Trying to put these into good use. Last time we saw it, Stown played it towards the A site, had no delight with it. This time he's pushed up aggressive towards Palace, but all of the T's of Na'Vi, they're grouped up, ready for a bombardment on B.
That nade does a bit of damage. That's 20. Pop Flash is going to come in, and Cadian's already rotated over. He finds the first. There's no smoke here to isolate him, as Electronic can't find the player in sight. Simple now. He's by himself. He has the op inside of upper B, and he can't go forward. It was the pop play, but Cadian read it, and rotating over towards Market. Finds the pick on the player crossing up first, and there we spotted inside of Halls, but Stown spots Bit back. And he bites back, but Boomich taking a bite out of the defense of Heroic. 2 kills going his way before Stown answers the reposition in the site, and it is Simple now in the 1 versus 3. He's jumped up into ladder, and he's not expecting Tezes to walk in. Heroic pick up their 4th.
Had the blade in his hands, but he will be cut down as Heroic grab onto a 4th round on the CT side. And that's the difference that the double AWP setup can make as well. In a round like this, it seemed like Bit had Stown's number. When he was over towards Connector, caught a glimpse of him, doesn't get it. Stown, ridiculous flick. From his POV, it looks even better. And those are the rounds you need to have impact out of him. You know, he's 10 for 7 right now. He's fragging. We will see a pause for Na'Vi as well.
And this is a good pause. Heroic have won 2 rounds in a row now. Remember, Heroic winning that opening pistol, winning the second round. Na'Vi then won 6 on the bounce. And now they need to talk to their coach, legendary coach in Blade. Obviously has had a massive impact on this Na'Vi team's success. So they take the pause, get the chance to get his input, have him, say his piece, what he thinks they should do to counter the double op. As the buy isn't great for the side of Na'Vi. Boomich now trying to decide. Yeah, he does decide to go for that Galil, get that extra utility out. As they only have 3 nade sets. Bit and Electronic couldn't afford it.
Shush, he might be tested here. Early Palace control going to be taken. The scope set up on the close corner, so they can't go for any info plays. Refresh towards middle, dashes out his nades towards the top. Shush, he's just ready for the ramp assault. It's actually a frag at mid as well. Refresh is able to win out on the 1v1 against Boomich.
Yeah, the aggression off short working again. He does drop to 56 HP, but like you said, wins out on the kill. A Simple smoke going to go out towards top connector. Not yet. holding on to it, waiting for the group up. And this top connector smoke, it's going to give them a little bit of space to push in towards jungle. You can see they want to avoid the double off of Stown. Ooh, and the crucial miss from Cadian almost. Actually, it is Stown. Cadian's in CT spawn. So the double off.
Lucky to be alive.
Very lucky to be alive.
That's an awful fight to take. This is getting rough as well. Perfecto. He unloads with the AK. Hits the headshot on the Shush. So now it's a 4 versus 4, and they're finally hard committing to the play towards the A site. Stown, he reveals himself from jungle. But that's not going to do much. They reflash over. Stown takes the fight towards Palace. Cadian watching a very tight angle as well. 33 seconds left on the timer here for Na'Vi. And Electronics finally arrived on the scene. Tag on Simple. He's on 33 HP. The nade goes out, but he backed off towards ramp. Here comes the plant from Perfecto. Lining it up so he can get it off. The smoke fading towards Connector as well, so his teammates watching it. 2v2, but Refresh on the reface will be bested. And it looks like they're just giving up the goose on this one.
They might be. Stown is repositioned towards the bottom of Connector. Actually does find the kill onto Perfecto, and Bit's position is given away as well. He rings out the shot, doesn't land anything as Stown is clearing him. He's slow clearing, and he lands the headshot. 2 versus 3 now. Player spotted, but Simple with the double HE drops it down on top of their heads, and it is Stown now. He's already has 2. He needs to find 2 more. He knows Simple's under him. Can he land the no-scope? He misses the first. He's all out of time. He gets away. He grabs the op. Both oppers escape, and it is Na'Vi who come out on top.
The big bombs from Simple. Drops the nade. Annihilates both of them. And that's a huge round. So close, so tight. And Na'Vi getting away with a 7th now. Going on a tear on their T side, Davey.
And there it was, Simple dropping that HE on top of the 2 players retaking from spawn. When Stown found the 2 kills in Connector, 3 versus 4, and somehow with the op, Stown gets both. The trades aren't there. It was looking so good for Heroic, and then Simple, of course, it had to be Simple, dropping the nade on top of the 2 CTs. And speaking of dropping nades, no, Bit escapes! How has he got away with his life?
He's still in the round with just 9 HP. He's going to get out of there. They cleared towards top mid, hard committing to try and take him down, but Shush gets nothing but map control. And talking of map control, they're on A. Refresh, he's gone unfaced. He's going to be walking out and looking for a play to be made. Shoots into the back of Electronic. There's the follow-up. The miss, stalling on the third. He switches to the USB, and it's not going to be absurd. Heroic buckling under pressure. A Simple gets it done with a Glock, but all of them are so low. 11, 9, and 3 HP across the board for Na'Vi. They're set up in the post plant. Simple. Watching, waiting, ready to strike towards the bench. The smoke's not going to help much, but Shush hits one. The missed shot, giving him a window of opportunity, and he grabs it with both hands. That's the round for Heroic.
Now Simple just has to get away after that. The play from Refresh inside of the site, tucked away towards the firebox. Nobody clears it. He finds 2 kills, almost the 3rd onto Simple. The switch to the Glock secures it for the Opera of Na'Vi, but all 3 of them were just so low after this. This right here, oh, it was so tragic to watch. He thought he was going to get it. Simple just escaping with his gun. The best thing for him in that situation, once the shot was missed on the cross, there's no way for him in a 1 versus 3. 1 bullet from dead. Even the GOAT can't pull that one off.
Doesn't have the opposable thumbs in a round like that. Simple wanting to have some fun here, though. Disgusting Kurt angle as he hits the gut shot onto Tessus, and we do have an early 1-for-1 towards B.
And that's one there where if you are Simple in that moment, you're like, man, like you didn't need to die. You swung in front of me. I would have saved you. Electronic swings out in front, ends up dropping, but Simple does eventually get the trade back. They were ready for the aggression in upper B from Heroic, and now they've repositioned. They have the utility as well. They don't have the armor, though. Simple's the only one. They have full nade sets, 2 Glocks on Perfecto and Boom. It's just kind of funny. You don't see that very often.
Supporting it, of course, you've got that AWP and the Tech 9 on Bit. He can be a fiend with this weapon. Flash out towards top mid, Perfecto. Just trying to plant seeds of doubt in their mind. Now he lows the whole way back through T-spawn, links up with the team, and they're finally starting to take the control. Molotov under. The utility's still there for Bit as well. The smokes are going out and the flashes down with the support of Shush. They're playing on the angle. They peek into him just as the smoke blooms. So Boomich, he gets busted wide open. Shush, he puts the barrel in the face and pulls the trigger to end Bit. Simple can't quite get it done. A 1 versus 3 as he hits the first on the Stown, but there's the quick trade from Refresh and Heroic getting into the game on the CT side now.
Yeah, Na'Vi invested into all of that utility, and they don't throw it until they get out ramp, which is fine. They throw the pop flash, they go out, try to clear anybody playing close. They throw the smoke towards jungle and connector, but they just peek out before the smoke pops. The bomb gets dropped, player in front of the smoke towards stairs, causing all kinds of problems for them before Refresh from jungle is able to finish it off onto Simple through the smoke. Overall, decent eco round from Na'Vi. They didn't have a ton of money, though, right? The bonus wasn't there because they'd won so many rounds in a row. So now no op on Simple. And only 3 Galils, too. Perfecto, Bit, and Boomich all relegated to the Galil. Not a terrible weapon for the price, but it's no AK.
And in moments where it can be crucial, if you don't have that AK, it could be the difference maker. It's down. He's waiting, posted up on the bricks. But can he hit him with the brick squad play in a round like this? Just down to a minute on the clock now. Smoke out towards window. This gives him a little bit more room for error. Meanwhile, Cadian, watching the close angle. He'll see a tiny bit of skin and he's got the read.
And he's made the call now, too. You can see his lips moving, calling it to his teammates. There is one player inside of upper B. The jump peek from Perfecto works perfectly. And there is the Galil from Boomich. Not able to land the shot, but Simple following up. Gets the trade onto Stown. It is going to come down to timing. The player is aggressive towards ramp. Bit is inside of jungle. And with the player inside of Palace, they know most likely if there is a CT playing on this A bomb site, he is aggressive in ramp. They knew Simple was towards ladder. They didn't know he had the bomb. Refresh finds Electronic. And can he find the timing? No, Cadian didn't have his the crosshair placement wasn't there. The reactions weren't there. Simple gets the headshot. The B site's open. And he's recovered the op.
He's upgraded to the AWP a bit. We'll downgrade Shush to having nothing left in the round, so it's just 2 versus 3 here towards the B site. Tessus already in position, but he's not going to be delighted with this. The spam rips him down to 36 HP, and you've got to give it up there.
Simple with that kill onto Cadian. I'm trying to figure out what was going on. Cadian maybe looking at his teammate's screen, trying to figure out exactly what was going on at A.
That's what I was thinking. It's either that or he's watching radar, obviously trying to calm, but the difference that play makes as well, if he wins out against Simple there, huge round. You're in a great position, you've got the bomb, you've got everything the way you want it to be. Instead, with him getting that pick, he knows he can just run into B.
Yeah, and right there, like I said, I'm thinking about it, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly was going on. It looked like he was maybe pre-aiming towards connector, and he was getting ready to swing on Con, but then he was probably, because on LAN, obviously, you know, Cadian, in-game leader, Opry, he's sitting in the middle. You can look left and right to see exactly what your teammates are seeing. So you don't have to look at the radar. You get a lot more information out of it. But in situations like that, I think that's what happened. Because he was not ready at all for the swing from Simple. And even when Simple did swing, there was no reaction.
The reaction is now Na'Vi. They get the round and they get that free AWP in the hands of Simple that he can keep bringing out. 15th round now. Is this going to be an 8-7 or a 9-6 in favor of Na'Vi? That's the big question, and the answers have to come out from Heroic.
Great flash. Cadian with the flash from jungle, throwing it in, allowing Stown to find the pick onto Bit before he swings out from window and finds Boomich towards top middle. Perfecto now. He's out ramped. They're scaling up, and Stown just wide swings. That's the kill onto Simple. The op is taken down. Electronic with the answer back, but it's still the 2v4.
Perfecto, flash over the top, blinds Cadian, refresh underneath, he was fully wiped, but by the time his vision comes back, he will hit the headshot onto Perfecto. Electronic last the fall, and Heroic get 7 rounds out of it on their CT side. 8-7, Cadian looking very vocal as well there at the end of the half.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, Heroic did win that opening pistol round. So Na'Vi going 8-7 on the T side, they're going to be feeling very good about that now. As they switch over, they go on to CT, their map pick. It's everything they could want. And even going into Inferno after the fact. I mean, if Na'Vi pick up Mirage, yeah, Heroic picked Inferno. They're definitely going to be comfortable on it. But Na'Vi, they like a bit of Inferno themselves.
Oh, they do love a little Inferno, mate. And they're on a heater. They're warmed up. Simple's hitting his shots. But when isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's had a bad event in, like, years.
And Simple do love this. Seems like he's pulling out the Julies into the opening round as well.
Because he's based and smart.
Oh, yeah. Heroic, though. They're trying to go swift with this. They go running up connector. They're being spammed in the back. So refresh Tessus and Stown all losing HP. Boomich, he's going to be hard committing for the kill as well. Bit does get buckled by Cadian. And Simple just waiting for his opportunity to strike. Knows the 2 guns are better than 1, and he's starting to have some fun, but Stown will stop it right then and there. Perfecto, he replies, peeking out through jungle. He's like a human machete. He's cutting his way through them. And Cadian, it's all on him in the 1v1 now. P250, no, it's just a Glock, and it won't matter. As Perfecto peeks into it, hits the shot on the USP, and they grab that pistol.
Again, Heroic winning out on the opening fights. Refresh with the pick. Towards the top of connector, finds the opening. They scale forward, but it was just Simple waiting towards the ramp with those dualies to get 2 back. And in the 2 versus 4, Na'Vi win it. Simple with 2 huge frags before Perfecto comes in, and just the timing, the delaying action from Simple is what allows Perfecto to get in time, get those last 2 kills in the backs of the Heroic players. And able to finish off the in-game leader in Cadian, and now Simple, he's just eco-farming. He's gone for the M4. No nades, just straight M4 head armor. It's like, excuse me. No, this is mine. Don't do that. Don't shoot at me.
Don't you dare.
How dare you?
These are my ecos. If you dare to defy me, I will ruin you in this game. And Perfecto, he wants to farm up the funds as well, waiting inside the apartments. This is his domain. Brings down to 25, and the UMP of Electronic gets an opportunity to do some damage. They farm their way through it. Na'Vi at 10. Universal machine pistol.
Don't see those very often anymore.
You don't.
There's only a few players that get them.
It is interesting, man. I think the most I've seen the UMP in like the past year has just been here at the RMRs.
Maybe, actually. That might be true. Glaive still loves a little ump every now and then.
Yeah, he's an umper.
Mid control is taken by Heroic. They've thrown all this presence here, but the play is actually towards Palace. They get spotted, and they were trying to catch a timing, right? They were hoping they could do exactly what Na'Vi did to them in the first half. Catch that timing, walk out. As soon as they get spotted, cancel. Cancel the strat. You don't have to commit to something. You had an idea. You want to try to catch a timing, get out without being spotted. You get seen, you cancel it, you back off, you change your plan.
So everyone else rotates back towards middle. It's down. He'll hold. He's got the Empress in his hands, but will he impress us with the AK? For now, he's just going to wait and see if they fight towards him. Meanwhile, Electronic sets up with a nade towards middle. This could do a ton of damage.
Does onto refresh as well. 33 damage done. The A-split is coming. They smoked off jungle. They're scaling forward. Boomich dies. Trying to aggress inside of Palace. He had the MP9. He knew he was getting split. Tried to do something aggressive. Electronic with the FAMAS tapping away. Not the weapon you want in the situation as Shush finds the head of Bit. 2 versus 3 now. They still have the M4 of Simple, and he's still alive here in CT. Finds the first. That's the bomb drop, Jack. It's 1v2. It's Simple. This is exactly the player you want in this situation.
Dealing so much damage. Hard commits for the frag, and as they peek into him, he flicks his crosshair down. Makes it look easy. Boomich blown away, always impressed by his teammates' ability to save the day. And Simple lives it large in a round like that, Davey. It got close, but if Simple's alive, it's not over.
Just when you think you have him beat, just when you think you've got the round in the 1 versus 3, the bonus round from Na'Vi. They secured, and look at that. Boomich is like, man, I'm so glad he's on my team. I'm so glad I don't have to play against this guy.
Unbelievable.
You would just have that thought every day. In practice, in matches, everything. You're just like, man, I'm so glad I don't have to play against Simple.
Just every time you wake up, it'd be the first thing that goes through my head. Oh.
Just thank God. Thank God he's on my team.
Easy round here as well. No
plant.
bomb plant, man. Ugh. Could have been the one saving grace, but they don't even get that.
No. And that actually does make a big difference because that extra 800 would have been leftover cash, right? They're still going to be able to fully buy into this. They're going to have the full nades. Cadian will have the op, right? All of that's still there. But that extra 800 is just that bonus cushion so that if you do lose the next round and you don't get the bomb plant, you have that extra money so you can still buy into it. Now, because of that, because they didn't get that bomb planted, you can see the money 150, 100, 0, 400, right? They're not going to have that extra cushion. So if they do drop this one, if they don't get the bomb plant, they're going to be on eco for the next. And Simple, he hasn't even upgraded to the op yet. He's still just rocking the A1S.
And it's working wonders for him. Mauls them at middle. Opening frag onto Tessus instantly. And he had a great start into the game. The pistol round, it looked like he was getting into his groove, but he has been silenced throughout most of this matchup. And that's not a player you want on the back burner for Heroic. They need him to pipe up.
Ooh, and they would have heard all of that as well. The player off of short, that was Bit, would have heard all of that information on the play towards B. And I wonder if that window smoke in middle, if that was a missed smoke by the T's, or if it was blocked by somebody on the CT side, because their window smoke landed underneath, as now Perfecto, from underneath, needs to find these kills. Bit's rotated in. He's here to help. They can't cross the site. Bit's got it locked down with the M4A4. Lands the tags, lands the damage, and there it is. Perfecto finds it. Cadian trades one back, but he's got 8 HP. He's running away. There's 50 seconds left, and this might just end up being a free op for the side of the CTs. Navi's not going to even have to buy one.
Electronics ready in a prime time position. Cadian's body goes flying out of the map. The Danish space program there on display. There's Na'Vi picking up all the rounds. And the difference in body language alone, right? You can see they look uncomfortable. They're frustrated with how this game's going on the T side now. Na'Vi, they're hyped up. They're a happy Na'Vi, and that's the good Na'Vi. That's the Na'Vi you want to see.
Yep. And especially right there, if you're the player who died at top middle at the beginning of the round because your teammate missed a window smoke, you are just livid. You try not to be upset about it, right? You try to be like, it happens. People miss window smokes, but it's like, nah, you don't though, do you? Like, you just can't. You just can't. But Bit might have gone for the jump up onto short and blocked it. He had full HP, so I'm not actually sure. I think you would have lost one if that was the case. Maybe Simple just stood on the ledge and blocked it as well. You never know. You never know what happened. But either way, the smoke landed under the window. It was missed. So,
Devil in the details there. Coming back to bite them in the bottom. And Heroic, it's really rough. Cash at an all-time low. Tech 9s, Deagle, Glock, AK. Tessus has the AK in his palms, but he needs to get into the round with it. If he can find impact, at least wake up a bit, it'd help them out the longer the series goes on. Nade goes rolling by. Tessus loses 9 HP. They force the CTs back deep in towards spawn. Simple. Oh, he gets rinsed by the Tech 9. And the Tech 9 is causing turmoil now. As they push up, they keep committing to it. Issue is, Tessus, he wields the AK, does get a kill, but it's on his own team. Now things are starting to go wrong. Cadian and Stown, last alive with just the pistols. They're not in a position to really contend against this. They're outnumbered, they're outgunned. The Na'Vi, they're pulling up, they're ready to rumble. Down with the Deagle, misses the shot as Electronic will switch him off, and it's all on Cadian with just the Glock, the candy apple. If he can get him off the bomb, it still wouldn't matter as Bit, he's primed for it, and Na'Vi take the round.
and it was looking so good for Heroic there. They found both opening picks with the Tech 9. Refresh going forward, running them down in CT spawn, lands the headshots, finds both kills, but they just can't capitalize on it. They try to aggress even further into CT, and I believe it was Perfecto there and waiting. It was either him or Electronic with the AK. They're able to find it, and look at the bank that Na'Vi has built up now, too.
Yeah, they are loaded.
We should actually see the op from Simple now. Yeah, there it is. And for the first time in the second half, he just hasn't died. He's just been holding on to the A1S, been vibing. He's like, oh, this is working. This is fine. Now we do finally see the op come out. Remember, Simple 26-9 at this point in the game. It's so easy to keep talking about because he's just so good.
It's just what he does. Rinse and repeat. Every round. Finding barrels of impact frags. Heroic. A position here where if they concede one more round, that'll be match point in this series for Na'Vi.
Massive nade onto Shush as well towards top middle. As soon as Heroic start throwing that mid control, counter nade comes in, deals a ton of damage. As we can see, they've reacted. They've gone aggressive towards ramp. Bit wants to get into ladder as well, and that's exactly where the play comes in, but the flash blinds them both. They missed their opportunity to catch Bit.
He's going to play on top of the ladder. waiting for them to come round. If they clear this, they have to get the flick up. It's an awkward vertical angle to hit, and Bit, he just unloads, sprints his way into the next man, and Tessus does trade. But look at the damage already done. You're in a 3 versus 4. You're at a huge disadvantage, and you feel trapped at middle.
And the flash from Electronic there was perfect. Full blinded that player going into the ladder. Allows Bit to get the first one for free, and once he lands the second, they knew where he was. They closed down on him, but he had already done his job. 2 for 1. As now Heroic, they're just split up. They're just trying to see if they're going to give them anything, and they do. Stown actually gets the pick onto Boomich going aggressive in connector. The only player here is Simple, and he's inside of Palace.
Perfecto, pushing up on short. Tessus is here. He just holds the angle, but he's going to
bomb.
be walking into him. That's the bomb dropped with a
That's it.
headshot
Round done.
connection. 10 seconds on the clock. There's nothing that you can do. It doesn't matter what they hope for, what frags they can find. The matter of the fact is that Na'Vi have got 15 locked in.
And Tezes with the bomb and ladder, a massive misplay from Heroic. Tezes doesn't scale up into A with his team. He's staying on short with the bomb, and Perfecto was just waiting. Forever patient, man. Perfecto is such a patient player. He doesn't swing out. He knows Cadian has the op towards middle. He's worried about that peak from connector, so he just waits. He takes his time. He bides his time, times the peak to perfection, and that's the moment Tezes swings around the corner with the bomb. The headshot is found, bomb is dropped, and Heroic had no way to get into it.
Nothing that you can do. Physically don't have the time. They would need a really long step ladder to be able to get over the short. Instead here, they go for the early boost, put Cadian on top of the totem pole and see if he can find a pick out towards middle. They jump him out. They have conceded the hold towards mid, so he's going to be running up a bit. He's seen the top of his fringe.
Yeah, he spotted him. He knows the aggressive play was coming out towards middle. Again, the nade lands right on top of Cadian. 59 damage done, and Simple's boosted in the back of the B site. If Stown goes forward, he's going to be walking into the op of Simple. Now he jumps up. He's posted, and the aggression from Perfecto here might end up costing him his life. They would have heard the scope. Perfecto clears it. The pre-fire's in. Refresh finds both. They line up. Gets the double headshot. Will he expect the third? That's the question. There's one more man here. It is Bit. He lands the headshot. Electronic answers onto Cadian towards middle as well. And it is the 2 versus 3. But Electronic walks into the crosshair of Tezes. And the Ts are split, but so are the CTs.
50 seconds. 2 versus 1 towards the B site. Bit though, he's reading it right. He's primed. He's ready. But he flicks off. The timing goes the way of Tessus as he hits the shot. Upgrades onto the orb, and Shush dives out onto the site. Hard commits for the plant. Boomich is all the way over at A, and this should be a round for Heroic.
It is going to be the round for Heroic. Boomich has no way to retake this B bomb site. May just go try to recover that op if he can and mark it. Not even going to bother with that. He's just going to hold on to the AK. So Heroic, right now, Na'Vi is on map point, and they still have so many more to play with. This was their first one. Heroic deny it. They deny Na'Vi picking up their opening map pick. But they have to do that time and time again. And this one all came down to that timing again from Bit. The second he flicks away from the door is the exact moment that Tezes walks in.
The definition of the unlucky timing, man. Tessus there pointing at his stopwatch. And for Tessus as well, he needs to get back into the groove of the game. Inferno coming up after this. If he's going into that in a bit of a bad mental space off the back of how this game's gone for him, you can't be having that, man.
No, you're absolutely right. He's had a rough game so far. And like you said, they need that mental reset going into Inferno. Any rounds they can string together here, right? At this point in the game, you take it one round at a time. You play each round as its own thing, and you just use every single round as a way to try to build some confidence, build up some momentum going into the second map. As actually Simple gets tagged on the cross by Cadian. The boost working, and he tries to go running out middle, but Tezes is already there. So Simple drops the tag from Cadian, the kill from Tezes, and Heroic get to start off this round up 5 versus 4.
One of the few rounds they've been able to get an opening pick with no trade instantly back. Tessus, he's waiting. Holding on for the push through connector. The smoke is there, and they are going to be looking straight by one another. Hard commits to the spam and rips his way through Electronic. Perfecto now, playing towards the arch, ready for them to come barreling into his bomb site. He's got to hit him with a swift backhand, but he's pulled. Expected the face coming from short, so he looks away. Refresh gets the kill, and Bit and Boomich both have to save.
They do, and they actually need to hold on to these guns. Bit drops, and that is massive, actually. Boomich, with 6,500, will be able to drop 2 guns. Simple will be able to buy himself the op, and Electronic can buy. So they will have the 5 rifles. They will have the 5 guns into the next round if Boomich can save. Ooh, but he doesn't. Now this is where it gets interesting. There's gonna be one player from Na'Vi relegated to an inferior weapon. Maybe, I dare say it, the FAMAS.
Ooh, don't say it. There's no need. It's
gun
like
that
Voldemort.
yeah,
You don't
exactly.
say that name. You
Nah.
don't say that name.
It might happen. It might happen here into this round. It's definitely a possibility.
But this is way better from Tessus now.
Yes.
Like, he's back in the position he should be. He's hitting his shots. He's starting to get into the game. Obviously, for Heroic, like you said, though, you've got to just take it one round at a time. They would have to force this game into an overtime if they want to win it. That's the only way you could upset Na'Vi here on their map pick. If not, we're going to go into Inferno with Na'Vi one map up.
And the A execute is going to be coming out. The rotations aren't really nearby. You do have Electronic inside of window. Simple with the op towards triple. He's going to have to be immense here. This is just the 5-man execute. There's no lurk. There's nothing. All the smokes are coming. Simple's tucked away, and he needs to come up huge.
Simple towards triple. Could he be on for a huge frag into this round? Flashbangs go over as he peeks out. Cadian will shut him down. Boomich hot under pressure, but still hitting shots. He's slaying his way through too. Goes up the ladder, and he's out of dodge in the round. We're into a 3v3 with 50 seconds still to work with.
And Simple tried peeking out the left side of the triple box there, but Cadian was posted. He was ready. And now Electronic, he's slow clearing. Hasn't peeked under Balk, and that's gonna be the death of him. Bit does answer back, but Stown is there on top of Tetris. So now it is just Perfecto. He's on the MP9, and Heroic, they're just running away. They're just gonna run all the way over to B. No. Ooh, the quick turnaround back into Palace, the old switcheroo.
Yeah, they've played AB before, and they will go back towards the A site. Perfecto, he stayed tucked into CT this whole time. He is going to stick his face out on the site, see if he can catch whiff of them. And maybe there's a play to be made. Problem is, just as they arrive, that's when he turns tail and starts to run. They won't make any noise. They'll try and keep quiet. Cadian posts up for it and hits the shot. So suddenly, the game that looked really unwinnable for Heroic now comes down to, can they win 5 rounds on the spin?
Yep, exactly. And that's what it comes down to, right? That's when you play the one round at a time until you get that distance closed down enough where you've built up enough confidence where you're like, hey, guys,
we can do this.
I know it was bad. It was 15-7. It was bad. But now, all of a sudden, now Navi's on eco. Then it's 15-11. They win the next gun round, it's 15-12. Navi's on eco again. And then all of a sudden, it feels like a game that you're able to win. Oh, but they're running into the stack by the looks of it. No, they do drop off. I thought it was going to be the fast short play. Instead, they're making their way up connector. There's only one player here for the CTs. That's Boomich, and he's about to get found. Shot in the side of the head by Shush. So the A site has been taken. The gamble stack from Na'Vi not working out on this occasion. But of course, it was just the eco. Simple's actually invested quite a bit into this as well. Down to just 1,100. So if he does want an op into the next one, he's going to need that dropped over to him from either Bit or Boomich.
Potentially, if he finds a frag with the Deagle, he could get one stolen straight from the corpse of Cadian, but they peek together. He basically nutmegs them with a bullet straight down the middle. Cadian gets the kill. And now it's just onto the save game.
They are walking up underpass. Stown is about to find him. They obviously didn't hear him. He jumps up. So it doesn't look like Navi's even going to be able to find anything. With just Perfecto left alive, just the Deagle. If he can maybe grab one kill here towards middle, that would be like pretty cool.
Ooh.
See, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. The flick as well. Never in doubt, man. Perfecto can always do some really, really dirty stuff with that Deagle. So the fact he got the flick off, all right. But they stop it, and they get the round. That's what Heroic wanted.
Yep, exactly. And like you said right there, the swing out was perfect. They peak together. Heroic go up 15-11, and Navi's money actually not in a great spot. We haven't been able to see it yet, but it's not great. It's not in a very, very comfortable spot at all. If they do decide to force into this one, they lose it, they're going to be on eco again. And they're not going to have a great buy in this round if they do decide to force it.
It all comes down to the decision-making, really. Everyone taking their time here, staying hydrated. And This has been a really close map now. Heroic have actually been getting back into the game massively. And obviously, the 5 rounds is now 4. If Cadian keeps getting some impact here and there on the AWP, if Stown can carry on with the plays he's been making.
And the boost into ladder might be huge. If they peek out, they might catch Cadian here. Bit just decides to hold it. Doesn't want to go too aggressive. The flank is going to be in, and Electronic is going to get found by Tezes. The flank working exactly as intended. Boomich is in CT spawn, and Kenbit find the opening he can. Simple here as well inside of the ladder room. Answers back onto Stown. It's the 4 versus 3. 2 players are out on the A site. They've made their way across Sandwich. Can they get the bomb down? Tezes finds Simple from under window. Didn't know he was there, and now Bit has to answer.
Bit's got to get this kill. He will be able to find the frag. So Refresh and Shusu, the last 2 left alive for Heroic. It's all up to them in the 27th round. Refresh walks out of Sandwich, starts backing up towards the ramp. They've got utility to play with. Shush, watching the angle on the jungle. But Bit, he fast flicks, hits the headshot, and it's all on Refresh. He's at 21 kills in the game. He's about to be peaked towards triple. He's watching towards jungle. There's the hard commit from the first. Bit on the reaction, hits the shot. Na'Vi eventually find their way to the finish line and get the victory 16-11 on their map pick.
And in the end, it was a relatively comfortable win on Mirage. They got up to the lead early. Some big rounds early in the game, some big clutches going the way of Na'Vi, and that's what you need. And there he is, the best man ever to play CSGO in the server, coming up with a massive performance again, as now, like you said, Na'Vi pick up their map pick, but we're going over to Inferno, and late